Bat Force Radio.
Bat Force Radio is rated M for mature, or should that be immature?
Hey guys, Dustin Wynn.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
You're listening to Bat Force Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Bat Force Radio, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Bat Force Radio, the Batman and DC podcast with no limits. We are here tonight to do a pretty spoiler-free early reactions trailer to Matt Reeves, the Batman. We've got Bat Force Tom in California.
I got a lot of problem with you people, and now you're going to hear about it.
We got Teasus in Jersey.
Hello.
We got Grumps in New York. And we got the Paddy Wagon, a.k.a. the Bat Force Times, a.k.a. Old School the Bat Crap, also in New York.
Oh, take it easy, sweetheart.
Oh, nice. And I'm Robin Krause in Canada. All right, so some of us have had the chance to see the movie. All of us here tonight have had the chance to see it. Grumps has done it twice. But many of you have not had the chance yet. You know, I'm sure you're going to get out and see it over the weekend. So we're going to just talk about our initial thoughts after getting out, seeing the movie, starting to soak it all in. And maybe you can just get an idea what to expect if you haven't been out to see it yet. So where do we want to start here?
Yeah, we can do. Let's start with. I didn't even think about this. General hype. I feel like for the most part, we were kind of all over the place in the Bat Force with who was hyped, who wasn't, who was looking forward to it, who wasn't. But where was everyone's hype level at going in? Grumps.
Oh yeah, my hype level was high. But yeah, I mean, I won't. Man, I don't know, 7 out of 10. Like it was high, but I was just curious about how Patterson was gonna do. So.
All right. TZ.
I'm with Grumps. I came in really high, really excited. I walked in. I spent $26 on my Batman popcorn vessel. I was ready to go. I was excited to get the variant, and I think the most exciting part was just being around fans that were just eagerly excited just to see this happen on the big screen. I got to see it in IMAX. Everyone saw it on Tuesday. They saw it in IMAX, so it was the perfect setting for what we saw. So
I think we forgot. I was
equally hyped just before, and even just leaving the movie. Just talking to people about it. It's just something that I haven't felt in a long time. Leaving a movie like that.
Oh shit. I think we forgot to mention that we saw it for the during the fan event. So the Tuesday or Wednesday before. What's today? I think today's Thursday.
Thursday,
as we're recording. So we've all seen it a day or two before the actual release. So I think everybody. I mean, you had to hunt for these tickets. They weren't like that readily known or available. Like you had to click a couple of links to get to them. So I don't know about you guys, but my experience was it felt like everybody in the theater was a fan. No one was kind of like a casual moviegoer. Everyone had to work to get there.
Yeah.
Robin, hype level going in.
I was pretty chill on it until like the night before. After waiting so long, I kind of felt like it was just more weight. And then the night before was when I sort of suddenly realized, oh, it's time now. This is happening now.
I would echo your sentiment. I purposely didn't try to get myself too hyped. Of course, this whole film is a slap in the face to Zaddy and Affleck, and I think we can all agree on that, and I'm glad we can. But I think I purposely didn't want to. It's been a long time since we've had a solo, so I wanted as much as possible to go in fresh as possible. Not dig too deep with like I mean, I did. I don't know about you guys, but I tried really hard not to like look into the behind the scenes featurettes that they had already released. They released a couple of them.
I didn't even watch all of the trailers, like the last couple trailers they put out. I just nope.
Yeah, TV spots. I don't think I made any attempt to see any of those because I wanted like a clean slate, and it's rare to get that with a brand new solo movie. You know, that was what I was. That's where I was at. It's a lie. Like once the week got here, you know, once it was like Monday, oh my god, or the weekend before, oh my god, like there's a Batman movie we're gonna go see in theaters. That's I think when the excitement kind of kicked in. Of course, guilt, lots of guilt. Myself as well as a Toxic Snyder fan, bro. Paddy Wagon. I know now you've been baptized in the rivers of Reeves, but how were you going in?
Yeah, I try not to think about this movie at all until it came out because I feel like movies take forever to come out from when they're initially revealed, and the wait sucks. So it's like, and you got to avoid spoilers and shit. So I just try not to think about it, But like Robin the night before, it's like Santa, coming down that motherfucking chimney,
Matt Reeves coming down all our chimneys.
Coming in my chimney.
Not in that way.
And, but it was like I actually like timed it so I would get to the movie theater right when trailers started, so I had even less time to think about it. I just didn't want to think about it until it was time, and that's how I like to go in nowadays. Yeah.
So you were edging it.
Yeah, pushing it. But then again, like I usually see it earlier, but I didn't get the fan tickets because I wasn't sure about my scheduling. So that's, even though Thursday's early to see it, it's kind of late in the fan ticket realm. So, it felt late. So
also could be a gamble with spoilers too.
Yeah, the hardest part about not seeing it, not being one of the first to see it, is that you really have to avoid a lot of spoilers and stuff. So
yeah, it's
anybody get anything spoiled?
No.
Wow, we're lucky. You kinda?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Were you looking for it?
It's the funny part is that someone tried to troll on the comment the other day, and it was like, but it's funny because it was like a half spoiler, so it wasn't even a real spoiler. It was like, so it wasn't. I don't think this movie really has any major spoilers either.
Oh well, we'll get to that.
One or two, but
I don't know.
Maybe more a surprise.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
nothing that could really ruin the movie for you, though. I would say.
Yeah.
I want to say, I think my hype, I was wrong. I think my hype level is a lot higher than I initially said. Because I was thinking like a week or two ago, I was thinking, man, it's like 17 years since Batman Begins, and the last like solo franchise. So I was like, man, that's a long fucking time, So this is a pretty big deal.
Crazy to think about in this scheme of, I mean, honestly, like if you step back as a casual Batman DC comic book fan, we're so fucking spoiled that we've had so many different iterations of Batman on film, and
ew,
no pun intended.
The fact that we have the ability to argue about different versions of the same character is kind of awesome.
Actually, I was telling Teasy earlier, that's why I like Batman and why it never gets old, because there's so many Bat books on the shelf now. It's because there's so many iterations of Batman. So many that there's like a Batman for everyone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like take your pick.
But it's the same character. And you could do that with Batman. It's hard to do that with people like Superman or other, because I was telling you, with Batman, there's so much to play with the tech and the rogues gallery and just the vehicles and everything. It's just that really is the best part. Like comic books, movie, Batman. There's always a Batman for everyone, you know. So animated series, Adam West,
Yeah,
just there's so many. So yeah,
that's true.
Good
Agreed.
point. Good point to lead into something about this movie specifically is when you're sitting watching it, I think you realize at some point that, man, this is a very deep world. Like this is a very fleshed out Gotham City that we haven't seen this type of Gotham City with so many characters, and it felt like there was history with characters. The way that it starts at year 2 and off the bat with the I'm trying not to get into spoilers, but felt very Frank Miller with the internal monologue going behind the scenes that you're seeing. It felt like it was a graphic novel opening to the movie. Year 1, Dark Knight Returns.
it opens like an art film.
Yeah.
Because
What was the song?
Oh, I forgot.
Was
Was
it
that
was it the
Ave
Nirvana
Maria?
song right at the beginning? Well, no, it was something
Was
else
it
at the
Nirvana?
beginning, right?
Once it opens up into like Gotham City, but the opening credits is like the background music. Someone's listening to like I forget, like if it's like opera music or something in the background.
I thought
Oh,
it
yeah.
was the Ave Maria, wasn't it?
Is that what
Yeah.
it is that
Yeah,
opens?
I
I
think
think,
that's
I
what
think
it
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
but
What's cool is that people are writing that this movie draws inspiration from like Seven and The Crow. Now in this movie, when it opens, it's like big bold letters, the Batman, and then it starts. And if you watch The Crow, it does the same thing. It starts in this big, it's the big letters, The Crow, and then the movie starts, and that's a very art film kind of thing to do. I forgot how the Joker went, but was that same
atsy fatsy.
But a lot of people are actually labeling this movie as an art film, and I thought how I look at it, it's actually gave you the comic book through the filter of an art film, which is kind of crazy that they did that. Like that is really bold in this climate,
And the movie did get. We saw this was maybe going back like a month ago. It got that artisan designation.
Yeah.
By AMC, right?
Yeah.
I was joking with Legends and some of our other buddies when we went to go see it. How, like, someone who hates comic movies, how pretentious that might sound to them, like someone who like Mr. Martin Scorsese, perhaps, who produced his own, by the way, with the Joker, but
he doesn't like Marvel films. He never said anything about superhero.
Good point. Good point.
He said they had theme park rides.
I love a good theme park, but I also throw up on roller coasters. So take that however you want.
And you also live at Disney.
Yeah, you live at Disney. So you have your own.
So one thing I noticed from people's social media photos is everyone's theaters seem to have different swag. I don't know if it's like that for every movie, but it looked like everyone had different stuff. Like I've got all my stuff around.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say
I got the popcorn can.
Hold on.
Oh, cool.
That's a beaut. That's a beaut.
Damn, bro.
And
That
then
is-
on the
that
other
is
side,
Nice and glossy. You got the cup tops. I think that's probably the best cup top.
Damn, those are sick. That's crazy.
So,
That's crazy.
funny story with the
cups,
the cup tops. So, the girl at the concession stand, I assume she's supposed to just hand you one, but she drops this big plastic bag of the cup toppers up on the counter and just says, "Pick whichever one you want." So I shuffled through and said, "Okay, I picked this one," and I just grabbed both. Because that was what I chose.
I almost thought that your shirt was the Batman shirt, but that's a Keaton shirt,
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
Keaton.
Okay. Look at that. Hang on, what's that?
the
Oh, that's
Death Proof.
Yo, that shirt's
Oh.
That's
crazy.
a dope shirt.
Even
That one's
Teaser's
fire.
Yeah, that one's fire, man.
That's a dope shirt.
I wish I remembered the name of the artist who did this. But
Shit, that's dope.
TZ, do you have it handy by you by any chance? The
Yes, sir.
This is
Owl.
look at this piece right here, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
Goodness
Wow.
gracious. And
Look
I cannot
at that, man.
Oh yeah. Can
Yo,
you
put
pop
it on, Teasy.
Can you pop the top? Look at that.
Damn, you took
That's
his brains
that's
out.
for when Zoe Saldana comes onto the screen and you
Oh, my own. Yeah.
got you.
This was a must-have. There's a lot of details in these little things, and even though it's plastic molded, it's made to have the seams and also like
Yeah.
the stitching. So
I'm
this
gonna
is just a really dope piece just to have, and they even have like the clear eyes, so
Cool.
Oh yeah.
detail is really great.
Now, is there like a reflection in the eyes? Are they hollow? What is that?
It's just clear plastic.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up real quick, because I have the ability to do this with the internet. I am
nice.
looking at his name he is at CH Toy Designer on Instagram. It does not have his name here on his page, but he is the creative director at Snap Creative MFG, and he's the one that did the design for that popcorn holder. I wish I could see his name on here. But yeah, so we posted that and we tagged him in it. Absolute hardcore shout out to I think his name is Chi. He might be from Chicago, or maybe those are his initials. CH Toy Designer on Instagram for those who want to check out his work. But fantabulous job. I mean, someone mentioned, and let me know what you guys think. This felt like '89 Returns merchandise all over again, as far as how heavy they went with the marketing.
No.
Yeah, for sure. I think they knew well ahead of time that they had something special, and WB put the whole force behind this one.
Grumps, you are disagreeing. Why so?
That I've never before or after seen anything like '89.
Okay.
Nothing's
Batman
gonna get that. But compared to recent years, nothing has been pushed like this one.
I don't feel like BVS.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, maybe because it wasn't a Batman movie per se, but I don't feel like BVS got nearly as much like. I mean, they got the cereal. Like, yes, I don't know. The fuck. Look at your cup, Robin. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's crazy. Like, just the little details. We got treated for fans. You know, they really sold this this movie to collectors big time.
Yeah, my cup is different too.
Yeah. So Grumps, where did you go? What was your theater?
It's a Regal theater.
Okay.
So.
And TZ, where'd you get that cowl from?
I got mine at a AMC that also had an IMAX theater there.
And Robin, yours was a Cineplex.
Cineplex, yeah.
Okay,
if anybody
so
listening has an extra, if anyone has an extra one of those cowl ones they want to part with, I am going to be looking for one of those.
Robin D. Cross on Instagram. You can DM him. He's looking for a cowl from AMC.
Was everyone offered a comic or?
Yeah, I got the comic too. I don't have it handy here.
I think
they were at my theater. The comics were destroyed though.
Me too.
Like I'm not just being comic guy picky. Like they were like ripped up.
That's sad because someone just fucking chucked theirs in the bathroom of the theater I was at. I'm like, oh my god, shake my head.
Fucking fishing it out of the toilet. I like it.
The guy sitting next to me started rolling it up before the movie, and I was like cringing. And when he gently did it, I looked at him and I was like, should I just offer him $5 because I know he's going to destroy this? But I actually waited at the end of the theater hoping that people would leave it, and not one soul left theirs. I was hoping to kind of stack up and just,
I mean, you can already tell the giddiness that we're getting carried away with simply just the merch that came along with the movie. But let's get back to the movie a little bit.
Oh wait.
Oh shit! Oh, that's a great one too.
One.
And again, what was your theater?
Regal.
Shit.
Oh motherfucker! I went to Regal. I didn't see that shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I love that. That's so. And Dunk got the same.
Badass.
Yeah. See, that's what I love. The utility.
Oh, damn! You got the wing bucket. I like.
This one is plastic.
Yeah.
Not,
yeah, mine's metal. That was
Yeah.
Friggin' uranium and shit.
Yeah, so that's what I love about merch when it has utility and you could reuse it, and you're gonna use it with your coffee. You're gonna use it. You got a bucket. You're gonna use it for trick or treating, whatever.
That's
look at this.
and this is a nightlight.
A nightlight.
Oh, that's cool.
So nicely. It is.
Grumps,
cool.
you got one of those coming.
This is that's the Jada diecast one.
You're right about that, Tom, about reusable merch, because every day I drink out of my Simpsons movie plastic cup that looked like the Slurpee cups. When the movie came out in 2007. And
that was genius.
Yeah.
They turned 7-Elevens into Quickie Marts.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I love like commemorative merch that you could reuse. Like the stuff you guys got, it's cool. Like Tease is gonna wear that cowl for Halloween. It's It's fucking awesome. So
I mean,
that's for sure.
Who still has their Batman Forever McDonald's glass?
Somewhere.
Right?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, the merch with utility is always a big hit, and I think they were smart in the way they did all this popcorn holders, cows, and all that. Okay, so the hype's there one way or the other if you're hyped or you're not.
Wait, I have a quick question, Tom. Would you petition for them making a Keaton cow popcorn holder when the Flash movie comes out?
You know, if they don't, I will take it as personal disrespect.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And Warner Brothers, I know you're listening, Warner Brothers. As a matter, I know you're listening, Warner Brothers, because you've shadow banned our account before for speaking out on topics such as this. But you better hear that. All right, so you guys, you get in the theater, you get your popcorn, you got your comic book, you got your Warner Brothers ball cap, you got your Warner, and you got your ass in the seats now, right? The movie starts. At what point in the movie did you guys feel like, yes, this is it?
Oh, can I go?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, when he walks out on the train platform in the beginning, like you hear
Bastard, you stole my answer.
everyone's gonna say that when he just steps out like a G. You're like, shit. You just hear the steps, and it's like, gee, that shit, that was crazy, man. That was hardcore.
My favorite part of that was that they let him make a slow entrance. Like, it wasn't, you didn't just hear a couple footsteps. It was like 30 seconds of just hearing footsteps, as he came up out of the darkness.
Yeah.
And something that's, I mean, that's very exclusive to this version. Every other Batman, I feel like, has swung in, leaped in, jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
This guy fucking walks. He's 10 toes down. He fucking walks right up to you. Grumps, what you got? Well, when was that your ass was in the seat and you realized this was your movie?
I think it was the following scene, like slightly after, with the mayor, or was that before? I forget.
I think that was the opening scene.
How much are we saying here, just to be fair?
How deep are we? We're 23 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. Those first 23 minutes are a little tease, a little bite, if you would, a little aperitif,
a little nibble.
Those were spoiler free, and that's just the hype. We're gonna go a little spoilers from here on out. If you have not seen the film, if you want to make sure to keep everything nice and secretive, please stop here. Come back, listen to us later. Spoilers from on out. I mean, don't.
Yeah.
Let's not like bathe it in spoilers, but let's just have a conversation where we're not worried about it.
Boilies.
Sorry to interrupt there, Grumps. I just wanted to warn the people before you grump them.
I mean, I love the fight. I love the train station fight. That was awesome, and I totally agree with what you like. He just creeped out of the blackness, but I think it was when he first started speaking in that investigation scene. Oh, and this awesome part where the cop puts his hand on his chest to stop him from walking. And he was just grilling this motherfucker like Batman would grill a motherfucker. It was just, I was like, this is Batman.
Robin, did you say when you felt like you really were gonna like this movie?
I feel like I have to say both of those scenes. I did love the train scene, but the first time that what I really loved about this was how much we saw Batman amongst other people. Like, just seeing him around, like, again, this, if you haven't seen it yet, this is big spoilers, but there are scenes throughout the movie where we see Batman in an active crime scene with a room full of police.
Yeah,
and
pretty cool.
That was just so cool to see. Like, he's right there, he's got his light on, and he's just checking shit out, finding, that when you see him at a murder scene and he's noticing things that the cops didn't notice yet, like that one cop that one forensic scientist, whatever she was, starts following him around and is like taking pictures of whatever he stops to look at. Just seeing his interaction there, we never get to really see that.
What's good about this movie is that in the past with Batman movies, it's like sometimes you feel like you don't get enough suit, and then when you get the suit, it's only for some typical blockbuster action scenes with the suit. So it's really nice to constantly see the suit, but him not necessarily having to fight or move, but actually doing Batman shit. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
like
different.
this is the first time where he's in detective mode. You know, it's like
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
The whole
surrounded in his
movie.
element.
Yeah.
He is like going through everything in his mind, and also like they've infused some technology, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
obviously, he's doing his homework when he gets to the cave. But this is the first time where he has to be a detective because he's he he's chasing the Riddler down. But it's never really about him being a detective, and this is the first time we're really getting that up front.
Now this is my hope because usually com- the movie plays a big influence on the current books and whatnot. I hope this is going to push DC Publishing in the direction where we get more Batman detective stories. You know, like more of it focused on that because that's his roots, and I feel like now people are going to want to see this kind of stuff more because detective stories are very compelling. I mean, this felt like almost like True Detective Mindhunter with Gotham characters in it. You know, it's really interesting. So
Teases. I don't want to skip where you felt this movie kind of spoke to you. You mentioned the train platform.
Yeah, I mean, the train platform definitely kind of just set the tone. You see him kind of emerge, but before that, I feel like those soft little scenes where every criminal out there is feeling his presence by seeing the bat signal. It like to me that kind of was like a nice little homage to '89 because the mood and the lighting, the score kind of like led to that feeling where oh shit, it's that time of the night where the bat signal is out. I have to kind of I'm going to be screwed if if I'm out any longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me that felt like kind of '89.
oh
There was
shit.
other moments that where I also felt like there were nice, strong Keaton homages, especially like when he was shooting up the grapnel with his grapnel gun a lot. But that beginning really set the tone for what we were getting.
Yeah, I think the part that really spoke to me immediately was how he's his monologue throughout the film, his inner monologue that is kind of pushing the narrative forward. I'm like, this is a graphic novel. This is year one. This is like you're hearing his thoughts, right? Jim Gordon has the inner monologue, but this is Batman's inner monologue. That's that opening scene where it's I'm pretty sure it's Times Square, right? But they're making it look like Gotham, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Times Square opens, and that's Dark Knight Returns. When you see that, you see him walking
Yeah.
amongst the people, and he's there walking amongst the people, not as Batman, but as Kurt Cobain, uh, in Seattle. Um, but that was kind of like where I'm like, okay, this is fucking interesting. Like, man, they're just going straight comic book, like graphic novel.
Mm.
How did you guys feel about? Let's see here. In as you saw characters come into the story, as you saw the Penguin, as you saw Catwoman, as you saw, is it Tweedledee and Tweedledum, by the way?
That's what I thought.
Yes. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
gonna
Yeah.
it
say
really
that. I
felt like
hate
that.
you
Oh
right now.
shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. You're seeing little by little, you're seeing all these characters pop in onto the screen, and you're like, oh my god, like this is a fucking comic book. These are comic book characters, like way more than at once than we're getting normally, and it's Gotham. It's not like something that needs to pull from a lot of different characters and a lot of different titles. It's this Batman, so you got Gotham. How did you guys feel when you're seeing all these characters kind of interacting with each other, playing? You see the fucking Iceberg Lounge. Holy shit! You know?
I those twins. They also made me think of. I never remember exactly but the Abramovich twins or whatever they are in the Arkham games.
Okay, are those the Joker goons?
Well, one of them is a Joker goon, and I think the other one is Penguin. They're the two that they both have one arm, the
Yeah,
giant guys,
Yeah.
yeah.
because they were. I think they were originally connected and they got separated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought of that as well. Are Tweedledee and Tweedledum, are they primarily Mad Hatter goons, or do they kind of I might be wrong, and people are going to shit their pants being so fucking angry about it. But regardless, I might be confused. But there's goons in this movie, you know.
Yeah.
Oh God, please hang on 1 second. The opening scene with Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and when Batman is doing what I would do, and voyeuring on her in her apartment. I had
Wait,
no.
That's after he meets her, right?
Yeah, he follows her.
Yeah,
Because he sees the boots or whatever, right? And he notices the boots from the picture of his of the friend. And I had like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Zoe Kravitz, she's gonna be Catwoman. I thought she looks like Catwoman, like with the short hair. Like she's got the body type. You know, I've seen her in other things. What's that show that she did that Meryl Streep came on in the second season was Big Little Lies, I think. I think it was an HBO show. Highly recommend. Ensemble female cast. They nailed it out of the park. Nicole Kidman. And she plays a character in that show. She's really good. She plays like a really young, kind of like ditzy, trying to find her way, new wife. But I wasn't like, oh my God, she's going to be amazing and perfect. I was just like, okay, cool. Zoe Kravitz. This fucking movie, dude, made me fall in love with her. Holy shit.
You know, she's cute. I like her. She's cute, and
I won't hear any negativity about her right now. You're speaking about my wife. Okay, keep that. Let's pretend that's what's going on.
She did really well in this movie. My only gripe is that she looks really small in these movie frames.
She's tiny.
And Catwoman's a little taller than that. She looks like Ariana Grande trick-or-treating as Catwoman in some of these shots, bro. Like
Ariana Grande?
She's tiny. And
I think she's about that size. She's like what, like 5'1" maybe?
Yeah,
she's like 98 pounds.
And she looks really tiny. Like Anne Hathaway had the height and the body for Catwoman. You know, she just looks so tiny in this. Other than that, I liked her. I liked her a lot in this. She did really well in this one. Yeah. I like with the wigs. The wigs are really cool. She looked good in the wigs.
I usually prefer to climb my partner like a tree, like a robust, nice oak. I am with you there. I like to be thrown around. I like to be bench pressed. I like to be squatted. I'm a big guy myself, so it takes a lot to do that. However, I've never been like the mousy type, but I don't know, man. Let's move on. But what did you guys think about like the characters? Oswald, Cobblepot, fucking A, man.
He was good. I like him. He was really.
Hey, sweetheart.
That car chase scene was good. That was a good scene.
Yeah. Could you guys tell that Colin Farrell was having a fucking time of his life? Like,
oh man,
playing Penguin.
Yeah, and he was one of the surprises. I didn't expect to like him as much in the role as I did. Like I never thought I would dislike him, but I was surprised how good he was in that. You know, just some of his demeanor, like, you know, look, I'm just the proprietor. What the guests do here, that's none of my business. You know, I really liked the way they handled his character, and it makes me a lot. Now I can sort of see why they've been talking for so long that we're gonna get an HBO Max series on him.
Speaking of that, you know, this movie felt like, it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like a really, 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 really good series. You know, it's like because of all the subtle dialogue and the detective work, and it felt like this is a good series you could watch in chunks, you know, like, so with them spinning it off with the Penguin, that makes a lot of sense. Are they doing like an Arkham thing too?
Yeah, that's what there's a story just going around today. Let me see if I can find exactly. I had it here.
Breaking up to the minute news.
So part of an interview, Matt Reeves had done an interview with a Canadian newspaper, and they asked something about the Penguin idea spin-off, you know, like saying that it was possible, and he replied, we're doing that, referring to the Penguin spin-off, and we're doing another series that connects to Arkham. We are talking and thinking about the next movie.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jesus.
now that we said Arkham in the movie, what I didn't understand or like is that they call it Arkham State Hospital. So are they not saying the word asylum anymore,
It's a
or what do
dirty
you guys?
word. Asylum is a dirty word. That's probably what it is. Maybe they don't call it that in the news reports.
Interesting.
Um, I mean, we'll get to that, but this movie and everything coming after it sounds extremely ambitious with all these stories. Grumps, were you in agreement or disagreement about Oswald Cobblepot?
Oh yeah, no, I loved him. I thought he was great.
I
I
like.
thought I felt the same way like about what's his name's performance? I forgot.
Paul Dano.
No. Penguin. What's
Oh,
his name?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. I felt the same way about him, like as I did Pattinson. Like when he's in the suit, just I couldn't tell that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously when he's Bruce Wayne, he's just obviously he looks like Robert Pattinson, but when he was Batman, it didn't look like Robert Pattinson, and the same thing for Colin Farrell. I mean that was amazing. Somebody should win an Oscar for that, makeup job.
The makeup.
Yeah. So because you said suit, I'm sorry, I'm just taking keywords here and there. Does anybody not like the suit?
I still don't love it, but I saw the thing that I was talking to Robin about this. I think the film makes the suit look much better than any of the promo photos did.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
I think the film, the suit to me in photos looks very mismatched from the cowl in photos. In the film, it's shot with the lack of light and the shadow use makes it much better. It looks much better. However, I still don't love the suit. But this is coming from like I'm a toxic Snyder fan, bro. Okay, Zaddy is my daddy. Okay, restore the Snyder cut. Okay,
I think there's a drinking game people play while listening, and every time you say Zaddy, they take a shot.
So I'm a guy that I still can't believe Affleck's gone. I still am sad about it. I love that suit. So everything that comes with being an Affleck fan and having a hard time with the transition, all that being said, this movie was good enough to make me not fucking care about my gripes. You know what I mean? Like there was so much that it did well for me that everything that I had, any issue that I had with this film was minuscule in comparison to things that I found enjoyment out of. So the suit on the rooftop when he's on the GCPD with Catwoman, the suit looks beautiful sometimes. In the dawn or the dusk when the light is just barely there, and it's there's side shots, profile shots of him standing next to Catwoman, and I'm like, dude, that's fucking Lee Bermejo's suit, dude.
Yeah. So if you take the cowl away, do you like the suit?
Yeah, so I realized that it's not necessarily that I hate the suit or I hate the cowl. I've always had an issue with the mismatch. I think if the whole suit was like the cowl, where it was like a Gotham by Gaslight, that would have been fucking sick. But my issues with the suit are not that big anymore. The suit, if they made it more like an Arkham armored cowl with the suit, that would have been dope too. And I think maybe people would have been able to stomach it more. But again, I think these arguments now, they don't hold up. You know what I mean? If someone tells me, I'm that guy. I was that guy that was it's not my Batman, it's not my suit. I can't get into it. That was me. I saw the movie, and I'm like, those arguments after that movie are not really that valid anymore to me.
I got a lot of Arkham game vibes from the suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
going in, I didn't absolutely love the suit. I didn't love the cowl design, specifically, that area between the ears, that kind of thing. But after seeing it, how it looks in the movie, I'm on board.
Yeah,
I have no issues with it now after seeing that.
I think the suit looks great. I love the Talon gauntlets. I think the suit looks cool. That thing, the bat's made out of a gun into a batarang. Those are the gun clips.
And that he used it. That was really cool too.
Yeah,
that is cool. I mean, I like the suit. I mean, I think there's the 10% that don't like. I don't know.
Charles, would you say that you like the suit even more because, like the merch, it has utility?
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll
tell you what.
I'll tell you what. I'm not seeing that goddamn movie.
Oh my god!
So
Shout out Grandpa Batman.
shout out to Grandpa Batman because I'm very confused. I mean, this like he is just not having it
Hang on.
when he is not seeing this
I think
movie
he's
because
joking.
Grumps, read
he's
this for me.
he's not because he always goes with Levi to see the movie, and he didn't this time. So it's like,
Wait, well, I don't understand this. K Porter closed, Patty
Kevin
Bat.
Porter.
Oh,
It's as if they're playing a basketball game.
he really hates Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, no,
So
sorry.
let me tell you something, okay? Because I respect Gramps, and here's why. He's a man of principle. Okay, he finds something that he believes in. He finds a foundation, and you cannot take him. You can't shake the man. And
You can't crack that net.
Yeah, man. He got a lot of people with Affleck got the Batman they've always wanted, and it's very hard to let go of that, considering also whatever Warner Brother went through and whatever Zack Snyder went through, and we're hurt. Okay.
Yo, Batfleck's the man. There's never gonna be another Batman like Batfleck, bro. That motherfucker pounds motherfuckers in the dirt, man. That guy.
He punched a guy's face through the floor.
Through the floor.
I think what made it easy for me to like this movie was that it is not Ben Affleck Batman. It is its own new, different Batman that, in a way, it has some elements of previous ones, but this one is its own, and you can enjoy that. You can enjoy because it's so different, right? Like you can enjoy the differences and not have to be angry about what you don't have because you still have that. By the way, we're still gonna restore the Snyderverse. Okay, job's not done, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna restore the shit out of it.
You know what though? Pattinson's Batman voice is on point, man. I think when he talks to Gordon and it's good. Like, then you go listen to Bale, and then go listen to Battinson. You're gonna appreciate Battinson.
Leave him alone. Leave the
No,
Nolan
that's
alone.
one thing. The Bale thing I do want to get on. So I told Tom for sure about this, and I think I might have said it in the group chat. So a friend of mine, Sid, I've known him for years now. For as long as I've known him, he's been a complete Nolan nerd. He just swore by the book of Nolan. You could not tell him otherwise.
Card carrying member.
I bumped into him. We have this tradition over the years of I've seen him in the lobby at the theater for every comic movie.
That's so funny.
And so we bump into each other in the lobby before this one, and then find him again out there after the movie's done. And then we chatted about it for a bit there. And then after I got home, I messaged him. I said, "Hey, so what do you think now? Compared to Nolan?" And he said, I feel like I'm kind of leaning like saying this is superior.
They're a fickle type, those Nolan nerds. A fickle
But
type.
he has not turned for anything. Batfleck didn't sway. He likes Batfleck, but it didn't sway him away from Bale and the Nolan verse. But this one, just on the first viewing, looks like it has done so.
Would you guys say that this sank its claws or its talons deeper into something that Nolan maybe not necessarily wasn't allowed to, but maybe didn't care to or didn't think he should go as deep? This feels like it's a deeper version. It's grounded, but at the same time, it felt very graphic novel comic book. And I feel like it has a deeper foundation, a deeper, richer history.
I think it's one of those situations where it's like Nolan ran so Reeves could fly. I think it gave Reeves the inspiration to build off with, because Nolan restarted it after a long time with the goofy Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. So Nolan re-energized the franchise,
and not just the Batman franchise. I feel like up until that point, I don't even was the Marvel Cinematic Universe even up and running yet with Iron Man?
Yeah, they were starting it up, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
because Avengers came out a little bit before Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, so I feel like at least the Captain America movies are much like I feel like the Captain America movies, Winter Soldier, and like specifically Winter Soldier, that feels like the grounded Marvel that exists because of what Nolan kind of did. You know what I mean? So I think like Nolan not only kind of did that for the DC movies, but he kind of made people in general look at, okay, we could take these movies kind of more serious. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be for like kids, you know? Similar
Yeah.
to yeah. So we're praising Nolan.
You know what, man? No, Batman Begins. Batman Begins was quite comic book. The Gotham City and Batman Begins was really good. Had a good comic book feel, but then it got like a little too realistic and.
The suit, man, I feel like that's such a big part of it, and Gotham City too. Like taking, they built a Gotham City inside a sound studio and filmed the whole fucking city inside of the sound. They built a Gotham City, and then they used exterior shots of like Chicago and New York afterwards to make it, I guess, maybe feel bigger. But you're absolutely right. I think that there is an element of Batman Begins that felt like they created their own world, and then they kind of lost it when they went like super grounded Chicago shots.
Batman '89 still has the most Gotham City ever, though. When you look at, there was a specific artist that designed it, and it's so fucking, it's like borderline steampunk Gothic.
It's like very smoggy.
Yeah, it's just
but smoggy in the sense like it almost smoggy and also very like straight out of a comic book.
Yeah, because think about the aerial scene when he's flying through the buildings, and it's just the skyscraper is just that's something else, man. That's Gotham City. So I still say that Keaton has the best Gotham.
Anton first.
The best Batwing, best Batmobile. He's still holding.
Let's bring it back to let's bring it back to performances before we kind of move on. Who was your guys' favorite character? Like, it's gonna be hard. Who was your standout, or did you have multiple standouts? Grumps.
Batman. Just
like
for me, from that after the fight scene, right? Because like the train fight, we saw that already, but we didn't get to see the whole investigation scene. And just to like you guys were saying earlier, just to see and hear him interacting, and I every time he was on the screen, my like fucking jaw was on. I did not expect this. I was like,
from Patty.
Believe him.
Believe him from Patty, because I don't think I've seen him in Tenet, maybe 2 other movies. So I don't have a whole catalog to go through with him. So
yeah, man.
But yeah, I was like, this is Batman. His mannerisms and the way he talked and the way he would, glare at somebody at different points. He did that a lot,
Yeah, definitely.
What was the most
which is rare because the other movies, even '89, as much as everybody enjoyed it,
tread lightly.
Everybody was talking about Nicholson, the whole,
true.
His performance.
True.
So yeah, and some of the other movies is more focused on the villains' performances, but this for me, he really nailed it.
What was the most Batman thing that he did for you? What was your favorite thing that he did? Like one moment from Patty.
God, I don't know.
Just the glare when he's looking at that fucking cop.
Just the glare.
Does it make you appreciate Does it make you appreciate the Todd Father side stare a little bit more?
No, two nights in a row, like when he did that thumb drive thing, like
thumb drive.
But he was fucking completely serious. But in another movie, Batman, I don't know, he might be smiling or whatever,
Yeah, that was pretty. The subtle dry humor was good.
Yeah, there was a lot of subtleties from him.
Yeah. Shit.
You have a lot of
Paddy Wagon. What was your standout if you had one?
Batman. Same shit. The way he acted with his eyes and his glares, and that we never really seen something like this before, where you're just interacting with so many people.
Yeah.
But and another thing I thought about was I felt like this Gordon was very squeamish in this movie. He was like he was a little more scared. He was a little panicky.
He's a good cop in a bad world.
You think about like a young Jim Gordon. You read Year One, no wiki needed. You know, you read Year One, and he's a hardened cop coming into the force, and it's like he wouldn't shiv as much as I think this Gordon did in the movie. But I think as the movie progressed, he kind of like grew some more balls and didn't panic so quickly. But he would really like look down and just really, you know, almost lose it when certain things happens. And I don't know, Gordon to me has always been a much tougher reactionary person. So not saying that guy didn't do a good job. Was it Jeffrey Wright? He's a fantastic actor. I think they wrote Gordon to be a little more on edge in this movie as opposed to how he usually is, which is just, you know, he's kind of like ready for anything usually. So
Yeah.
Believe.
Teasy, standout performance for you?
I'm definitely going towards the direction of multi-character. Definitely Batman, but I think Paul Dano's performance was it was what we needed for the Riddler. You know, definitely totally just a new version of the character. Certain things I didn't love, like I think there was, you know, they wanted to like introduce this whole world in the very horror realm, but I just felt like Saw, you know, like he's trapping someone in like some kind of head container, and I'm just like, to me that kind of like diluted a little bit, but it was still very cool. You know, he was very calculated. He used technology. He always thought like 8 steps ahead, especially towards the end. But he looked very cool, like that version of the mask, and it was kind of like a little S&M. It was that mask was related to like him using tape as well.
Are you gonna get
it
the
was
hot
cool.
one?
He
yes.
Did you guys get the sense that as he's killing people and tying them up with the breathing deep and all that, he's getting sexual pleasure out of what he's doing?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Which is anyone familiar with Grumps? Anyone familiar with the true crime BTK, Crime Torture Kill? Got off on that kind of shit. So I think there's some definite lots of serial killer inspiration for all this shit.
Yeah, there's like an S&M quality to that.
What did you blokes think about the first screenshot of him when the who was it? The guy running?
He
was
that was the mayor. That was he was in the mayor's
and he walks
quarters or home
by, and then you just see the Riddler.
Oh yeah, everyone
just
jumped
standing
in
there
the
behind him.
That was fucking.
Everyone jumped.
That was fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
I
that
heard
was
people
like
gasp.
That was like something like Michael Myers shit or like Jason. I was like, this is gonna be fucking awesome.
Emotionless mask. Robin, standout performance.
I want to say Batman too, but I'm going to qualify that a little. I think my favorite thing was the relationship between Batman and Gordon. The level of trust that we saw Gordon giving Batman and them doing things together. And there was the point specifically where, Batman had at this point already revealed how dirty a couple of not only the cops were, but other government people. And there's the point where Batman asks Gordon who he trusts, and he says, "I only trust you."
Yeah.
And I just loved a lot of that, and them walking through the orphanage together, and yeah, it's just to see that in live action, the two of them working together, that was great.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the mold a little bit. I'm gonna say I think just walking out of the theater, as many times as I've thought about it, Catwoman for me like is I don't know if it's just because I'm in love with Zoe Saldana now, or Zoe Saldana. Listen to me, my fucking ass. Zoe Kravitz. I don't know if it's. I just fucking loved her performance. I loved how she's working with him, wearing the lenses. She even sends him that "you up" text when she uses the lenses to get his attention again.
Yeah.
I just fucking loved Catwoman in this, and I was not expecting
Yeah.
that, so it's kind of a surprise to me how much I loved Catwoman in this movie. I really was not expecting to like love her performance. I had no expectations, and I just the way she fucking walks through the lounge, the iceberg lounge, was just fucking full strut. Like she knows she has to be on to not throw people to think that something's wrong, and the way she does it, like she's just fucking full strut, you know, like a catwalk. So number one, I would say is Catwoman, and none of you guys have said it, but fucking is it John Turturro as Falcone?
yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, man! I'm so glad that we didn't see clips of him in trailers.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
so glad that performance was like 99% like hidden from us, and I really fucking loved watching him. I feel like he's aged so well as an actor, and he really fucking did the gangster mobster shit. And when he's talking to Bruce Wayne and he's telling him the
Yeah,
history
that
of
was
his
great.
family,
Yeah.
and there's so much tension in that scene, and the way that he manipulates Bruce Wayne through his emotion, and it's like in that moment in that scene, I kept thinking like this guy's fucking playing you. And you're so emotional that you don't even notice. And it wasn't until he speaks with Alfred later on that he realizes that this fucking guy has been playing 4D chess with the city for 20 years.
Yeah.
And
Oh, shit.
I really feel like John Turturro and Falcone, that character, I feel like elevated this movie so much. It was very enjoyable to watch that. Not enough has also said about Colin Farrell and his Penguin. Holy fuck! Specifically, I loved when Gordon and Batman tie him up to the posts, and they're showing him the pictures. Why are you showing me that? And
Yeah.
and then they just leave him there. They leave him there, and he fucking waddles.
Yeah, because his legs were chained. Yeah.
He actually fucking waddles, dude. Like people lost their
But
shit in my theater.
If you notice throughout the movie, he has like a waddle. You can't see it because they don't really show him walking, but in scenes, you see one shoulder dip and the other one go up, and
He's
he
hip
does
heavy.
have like. But that was a good scene because he calls him the world's greatest detective. Look at you, the world's greatest detective.
Yeah. Oh, also, did you guys love when the Batman says the Batman in the Batman?
Yeah.
I should have fucking uploaded the meme of Leo DiCaprio with a cigarette in his mouth and his drink in his hand pointing at the screen. When the Batman says the Batman in the Batman.
Because this is the first, I guess, series or whatever, where he doesn't actually like say it, right? Like he doesn't. The other movies had, that moment where he says, "I'm Batman," or
I'm vengeance, and I love how everyone uses it as a fucking gag on him, like they fucking poke fun of him for it.
Vengeance.
And then and they're near at the end, he abandons it and he realizes that he's all wrong about it. Getting back to it, Charles, you were going to say something.
Well, what they did as well that was kind of clever is they kind of told an origin story without telling an origin story.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, without showing you.
When the mayor's died, Bruce just looking at the mayor's son, and it's like, well, there's your origin story. Boom. And I was like, that's pretty clever. That was cool. Like
a lot of whispers about that mayor becoming Robin or whatever.
And also, if you guys really want to delve, the orphanage scene when they go to orphanage, that's kind of out of Court of Owls from that.
100%.
So,
that Thomas Wayne speech is pulling like words out of the Bruce Wayne speech from court. I believe in Gotham City.
Yeah, and then because then I had what the hell's his alleged brother's name?
Lincoln March.
Yeah, I had some Lincoln March vibes. So.
I did you guys think that's where it might have gone for me?
Yeah, Yep. No. I thought that was gonna be Riddler for some reason. Because they started at one time they put like Hush in his
Yeah.
Oh
writing.
my god,
Like,
the Hush! No,
and I was like, here we go, here we go.
And
Tommy, I
It's gonna be
was
Bruce's half.
and the
Yeah.
father, the reporter they talked about, he was an Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah,
right,
Elliot.
Yeah, so
right before Hush
and then
came on.
and then they kept showing like these scenes of the Waynes in front of the photo, and then he is like behind them, like overlooking them. So I'm like, yo, are they really going there already? And they're just gonna say that's not the fucking, Riddler is really someone else, and it's really, he's got ties to the Wayne family.
Oh,
I just have to say, I cry and I grieve for Zaddy. Okay. But is it not something that the more you talk about this movie, the more it's undeniable that you can't not like it?
Yeah.
That's what I get. I just get this, like, the more you delve deep into this, there's so much you can pull. There's so many layers of this film that you are enjoyable. It's undeniable. Like, I want to deny it. I don't want.
But you can't.
Can't.
Why can't you? Say it. Say it. It's the best Batman movie ever.
Don't you dare put that. Don't you dare.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Here we go.
To that point, Grumps. To that point, Grumps. And this is 100% a nostalgia factor. This movie taught me that no matter how good of a Batman movie you give me, I personally cannot ever see anything better than 89 or Returns for me. And I 100% know that's because it's nostalgia that's tied to me and my memories and history of being a child, and that there's a charm to 89 and Returns that could not, you can't do that today. The charm, I feel like, would be cheese today. And I worry about The Flash, and I worry about that. That's what I worry about with The Flash, is that charm that made 89 Returns what it is. Like, man, what's it going to be? Like, when Keaton comes back, how are they going to do this with, the take? Anyways, that's a different movie, different thing. What we did performances. Let's go with.
I wanted to comment on what Charles was saying about Batman and Gordon, and I was like watching. First of all, I saw it twice. So I'm the expert here. No, I just, what? I just felt like I could see what Charles is, Times was saying, but I just thought like we're seeing, this was the first, I guess, weird shit to happen to them as a partnership, right? Like, I guess they were dealing with Maroney, and that was all mob shit or street shit or whatever. This is like the first like super villain shit. So that might have been why Gordon was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about that relationship.
You know what the best part is, Grump, is that New York 1 is in this movie.
Yeah.
Now, that is fucking, for you guys who don't know.
Yeah.
New York 1 is like our legit
Gotham City 1.
Yeah, it's our legit news station here, New York 1. It's like what all the real New Yorkers like to watch for news, New York 1. And that in the beginning of the movie, New York 1, Gotham 1, those are real reporters in the real studio.
Yeah.
That's all legit. That's New York 1. They just changed the name and read a headline. So that's kind of funny that they did that. Like everything is fantasy and fiction and stylized, and then you just have New York 1 on fucking
That's
TV.
Funny.
I just wanted to just add a side note from what you were saying before, Tom, too, way back. This is one of the parts too that when Batman and Catwoman interacted, there was just this instant trust, like that's something that there was no buildup, it's like they were kind of meant to be together. And you see in that scene where Selina's trying to steal, I guess, the passport docs, and Pattinson is holding her and covering her mouth, and he's like, "Yo, shut up! Like, otherwise we're both fucked."
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of cool.
You see that instant connection, and you really don't see that so often in comics, and it's more of like a back and forth.
Oh,
You know,
bad. Oh,
they
Yo,
yeah, exactly.
that's true.
But
We
you
got
know,
that.
that was instantly, set. And another side note is that we can just talk about is we haven't spoken about Alfred yet.
Yeah.
I didn't get enough Alfred in this movie.
Yeah, not enough Alfred.
Not enough Alfred, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
They got to bring him back in the
Yeah,
Oh,
that scene with Bruce and Alfred, where Alfred tells him the truth of his family, just that moment between them was great.
yeah.
Um,
The
It was good.
when they talk about how Thomas Wayne stitched up, was it Falcone?
yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
dope.
That's out of Dark Victory, right? Dark Victory? That was out of Dark Victory, I believe.
I think that's in a few things, isn't
Yeah,
it? That might have been first, where it was first, but
Is it? Well, I think maybe I'm getting confused with Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale. I thought it was. It's not Long Halloween. It's Dark Victory?
Was it in
No,
Long
it's not
Halloween?
Okay, so it's not Long Halloween. It
I
might
think
be
it's.
Dark-
I think it's. I'm almost positive it's Dark Victory.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that. But the
Yeah.
way they
I
played
actually
it,
think it's in Long Halloween.
you don't think that meant something? You don't think that? I think it meant he took the Hippocratic oath. That's good. Fucking yeah, that's good, dude. That was a great scene when he comes up to Falcone, and then what's his name? Oswald puts his hand on his chest. Whoa!
Yeah.
And he goes, "Take it easy. That's the Prince of Gotham, dude."
You know what was? You know what was cool? What was it, like the docks, and they find Catwoman's friend Anna in the body bag, and then she's ducking behind the car, and then Penguin and them are just laying waste at them, like fucking shooting that motherfucker.
Vengeance! Are you vengeance?
Like really, bro.
Yeah, but how about that? That's what I was thinking about. I really wanted to talk to you guys about this.
How about that?
Like the Batmobile gets its own like introduction.
An
really
extended introduction where it's like
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
the power and yeah, it's that this again. I don't know about you guys. Was not really hyped on the look of the Batmobile. This
I
movie
love it.
made you. This movie made you
Yeah, I
like
love
it. Yeah, it's cool.
I loved the look of this one right from the beginning. Ash
Yeah.
Thorpe
Dude,
nailed it.
that score with the chase scene is everything. That score.
Yeah, that was a tense chase too.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving and linear with what we gotta put our thoughts on. How about story? As far as story goes, how would you guys, how did you feel about the story of the film? Did you feel that it was a good story, a weak story, a solid story? Was it hard to follow? Grumps, did you enjoy the story? Very, very much
Yeah.
Long Halloween-esque, right? Where you're
I really enjoyed it. I was kicking myself, at the end. I didn't, spoilers. I didn't, pick up on the Falcone thing. And I should have probably thought about that. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the story. Just from top to bottom, what I enjoyed out of the story was the way they built the relationships. Like I said earlier, with Gordon and Batman, and you could see the relationship with Bruce and Alfred in the cave. He's kind of like, he's working, and Alfred comes over, like, and it was an attitude of like, what the fuck do you know about this? And oh yeah, I know how to do whatever ciphers, and the Bat Cat relationship, and yeah, I don't know. The way they built the relationships in the stories, I thought, in the whole story, I thought was great. And
I
the
just want to
serial
take a
killer, the way they made Riddler into like a serial killer, which Matt Reeves had mentioned.
Oh shit!
This is it.
The
I'm
Zodiac.
sorry to jump in, but
yeah, no.
this is. I'm sorry. This is Long Halloween.
Oh,
and
it
Bruce
is
on. So Bruce is on the stairway watching.
Wow!
So,
Eat your heart out, Charles.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's why we put him in. That's why he got his that's why he got his button, right? So,
yeah.
There you go.
Chip
sorry
Kid,
to be
Chip Kid
sorry to
probably
be
has
off
that
track, but yes,
Grumps. Yeah, the relationships.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And then the whole serial killer vibe of the story, I thought it was cool.
Would you say that this is the best Batman solo story?
Here it comes.
For me, yeah. For me, definitely.
You
I mean, it's
You
3 hours, and you
bootlicker.
can't like. At what point could you get up and I got to run to the toilet or something? I felt like you couldn't because there was always something.
I almost
going
had
on.
to.
Yeah.
Patty Wagon, your thoughts on the story?
So I think for comic book readers, the story was really good. I think for casuals, the story's going to be excellent. You know what I mean? Because I think we're so weathered and accustomed to these stories and the mythology that we have an idea of what it's going to be like. So, but like if you're like just fresh into it, you're hooked. Like you're just hooked. But with the whole serial killer vibe, kind of was like, it's interesting because serial killer vibe had a horror vibe, but on top of that, that was like the foundation that threaded everything. But then on top of that, you have the layer of like the mafia and police corruption.
Yeah.
There's just so much shit going on at once, but it just works. And but it was interesting with because I know there's a Seven reference when they went into the Riddler's apartment, that was almost word for word out of the movie Seven when they find his journals and they're reading them, and there's countless journals, and they had the precinct start reading them and shit. Like he really just like threw a huge nod to the serial killer in Seven, even when they, get him and have him in Arkham. So
and he means to get caught.
It's weird because he switches the vibe from mafia boss police corruption to horror, and that's kind of crazy. Yeah. So good story.
TZ, as far as story goes, what were your thoughts?
Believe.
I'm just going off of emotion. And I spoke to the second I got out of the movie, I called BFT and I was just like, because he was like, "Yo, how was it?" And I felt like Act 1 and 2 were so strong, and I almost wanted to say like, man, I felt like the movie ended as anticlimactic, but there was a resolution at the end, So I felt like for a second, the beginning of Act 3 was getting a little light because I was on such a high of what was going on for the first two scenes. But overall, the story, I think this is a different Gotham, and I always get excited when a new movie comes out because I'm just like, listen, we're going to get new fans. And this is when something big like this happens, it brings in new fans, but then it also inspires the writing of the comic books. So it starts changing the stream of what we start seeing day in and out. So I'm excited. Like the first thing when this movie ended, I was like, shit, when am I going to see it again? Then that's what I'm thinking. This whole weekend is all about like, when am I seeing it for the second time? And maybe the third time, it's like,
that's true. Just to
I'm really excited to just see it again. Like I can't wait for the weekend to just come so I can just be like, all right, am I going to see it Saturday morning or Saturday night? I'm just so eager to see it again, just to kind of witness this movie.
To witness greatness.
And what he's saying is, can you imagine being somebody who has this movie as their gateway Batman? Like a lot of us had Keaton as the gateway Batman, and some people had Bale as the gateway Batman. But imagine being someone who has this kind of movie as the gateway Batman. That's hard. That's a high standard.
Spoiled.
Like
spoiled.
When you're watching this movie, like we're talking about, like you almost have like a first person perspective. Like you feel like when he's going into the Iceberg Lounge and he's fighting, you feel like you're there. When he's talking to Oswald Cobblepot, like you feel like you're right there watching this conversation. Or when he's investigating and seeing what's happening, it takes you to that place every time. So it's different,
Good point, Steezy. Robin, thoughts on story?
Believe.
I feel like I've probably said 100 times on the show over the years that I want someone to make 7 with Batman in it, and it could not have been any more done than they did here. You know, he spends the whole movie chasing a serial killer. It's just like 7. And the thing about the way they do it is, this movie could have taken the same route if this were just like Detective Mills in 7. You know, this could have just been a detective following the same trail. It didn't have to be a superhero thing.
Even if this isn't your favorite Batman movie, you know, I'm using myself as an example, like nostalgia factor, I can't ever get over 89 in Returns. However, I would say, and I have to think, I'm going to include Dark Knight. I would say this is as equal to, if not maybe better than, a story, a linear story, like with twists and turns. And this was an actual like whodunit / corruption crime story. So I felt like I had a hell of a time enjoying watching the story unfold and trying to guess and figure it out. And I liked how it played out. One of the best fucking Batman stories on film for sure. Let's talk about, we got story, we got performances, we got standout performances. Score, I guess, real quick. I got like a lot of, as I'm listening to it, I got a lot of animated series feels from the score, the way that it kind of lends itself to scenes and that kind of thing. What do you guys think about the score? Grumps.
I liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I had the Batman theme like on my way to the theater. It was, you know, in my headphones. So.
Who didn't? Yeah, that's what we did. We had I drove Legends and Cav Dog and our buddy Stillings.
Oh, your rich friends.
That's just Stillings. Cav Dog and Legends. I drove them. Yeah, I was the chauffeur. I drove them out to the
You're
theater.
the soccer mom of the day.
I put on. Yep. I put on.
So.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me ask you real quick. That Batman theme. I think it's in the beginning. There's like a Western type of. I don't know. It sort of sounds like a Western song, like real quick, or like an outlaw. You know, I don't know how to.
I hear what you're saying, and now that I think of it, you think of Robin said this. Him walking, ominously walking into the scene is almost like he has stirrups on his boots, like an ominous cowboy walking into a scene.
Yeah, and they do the same thing when he walks up to Penguin in the overturned car.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
You can hear like, you know, there's something of a jingle to each step.
Yeah, it's like buckled, like curved or something with his legs. I don't know. There's a curviness to it.
Charles.
What you score?
Paddy Wagon score. Yeah, the film score.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like, you know how John Cena comes out and it's like dun, 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 dun. Or Hulk Hogan's like, I am a real man. Well, it's like when you hear that, bong, 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 you like, you know, the motherfucking goat stepping in the building. You know? That's like,
that's true.
And to go back to what you're saying about like comparing to the Dark Knight or whatever, you got to think about this. Like the Dark Knight survives because of Heath Ledger's performance. Now, you take away Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight, the story's still pretty good, but that's about it. This movie has so many powerful elements that intertwine really well, performances, cinematography, that I think that's what's gonna keep it over the top of that movie, because this one is just, it's they were able to figure it out and make it work. But like, then again, it had to be at least 3 hours, because you need that amount of time to get all of this information and all these standouts in one thing. And the score was good, and it's dark, and the score that's played during the car chase is probably like the most hardcore fucking score there is, man.
Yep. This is a way off topic, but I forgot to mention it earlier, and because you mentioned Ledger's performance in Dark Knight, the sort of interrogation scene in this one with Bruce and Riddler there, does that feel like it was aimed to sort of replace the Bale Ledger interrogation scene? And do you think that it succeeded? I do think it succeeded.
I feel like it was a nod, and it wasn't. I don't know if it succeeded, but it's more like the spatial, like in Dark Knight Returns, it was more of a bigger area, and that allowed for dialogue and some actually like aggressive beatdown to go down. So it's like I felt like Pattinson was very limited, and he did show aggression. But to me, that was like a nod to the Nolan films.
Do you guys like when Batman throws the bat at the guy's head in the iceberg lounge? That's it reminds me of that animated series episode. I think it might have been Christmas with the Joker, when he's taking a baseball bat and he's pounding away at the aerial Joker bots, and Robin goes, "They don't call you Batman for nothing."
That interrogation scene was good. I don't know for me if it was as good as the Ledger one, but it was really good because at that point, he thinks the jig is up for the Batman.
Yeah,
for
that was a great
Gotham
start.
project.
Yeah, because he kept saying Bruce Wayne.
Bruce.
Well, when he leaves Gotham, he says maybe this is it for the Batman, and he's like, "You're a good cop," which is essentially like, "All right, goodbye. This guy's gonna rat me out, and it's over."
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah, he
So
does.
it was,
it's very much like, I'm done. This is it.
Bro, that's a creepy ass Riddler, man. That guy.
And then the next thing is the interrogation. So and he spends the first minute or two like
Scared shitless. He's
shitting.
he's shitting bricks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And he looks over at the camera. He looks at the camera.
Yeah.
And what did you guys take away from that look at the camera? Was it because he's thinking they're gonna see what he knows, as far as he knows I'm fucking Batman?
Yeah.
I'm fucked, and now everyone's gonna know it.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
is it that fucking camera's on, and it's gonna see what I do?
Yeah.
Because he knows that I'm Batman.
And
anyway.
Now I know why McFarlane is doing that side eye all the time. It's starting to make sense to me.
It's in every scene. Every time he's
like,
acting with his eyes.
I told Charles, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna ease up on McFarlane, man, because he kind of landed. He landed a lot of that aesthetic.
He was ahead of the game.
He knew it was.
Yeah, like people were making fun of the emo Bruce, and he's not too off. Some of it's messed up, but some of it's not too off.
I wonder. He was obviously given information as far as like performance, or he didn't. Yeah, you're right. Those choices that he made were purposeful. I'm wondering, do you think he watched the whole fucking movie already before?
Yeah, listen, man, don't mess with my guy Todd. Let me tell you that man bat and that Clayface coming out are fucking beautiful.
Robin, to your point about the interrogation scene, I want every rogue to get a Batman interrogation scene, because I feel like they're always so good. I can't think of anyone that's ever been bad. And I was almost getting what do you call it? My brain is going fucking blank. The graphic novel with Joker and the Killing Joke. I for a minute I thought it was going to be like Killing Joke, where he's in there with him, and that's
the cards.
Yeah, that whole scene is fantastic.
That's very cool.
I felt it was different enough to where I don't have to say that it was better or worse.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
Yeah.
different enough that I enjoyed it on its own because at one point, like Grumps, you're saying, Riddler has such an upper hand because he has no idea when he's Bruce Wayne, and he's like, oh my fucking god. I love Paul Dano's tiny little lips. Like he has this soft chin with these tiny little lips, and it's almost like his head. I mean, he played up the small mouth to make himself look creepy. Paul Dano should have been fucking Jeffrey Dahmer in like a Jeffrey Dahmer biopic because he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like the interrogation scene, and he's a incel 4chan cuck. He's an incel. He's an incel, and they play this up in the third act. He's an incel who has nothing. He's alone. He's a sad victim of the system, and he's so angry at the system that he wants nothing more than to bring it down. And he's just like, this is Joaquin's Joker times 10. Like if you hated Joaquin Phoenix's Joker because of what it did to like speaking towards like this type of individual who's sick, like you're gonna fucking hate this Riddler in this movie because it's like that times 10. But that's all kind of why I love it, just because it kind of like plays that off. But
yeah,
I found it funny and pathetic, real quick, that he had 500 followers on his thing.
Pathetic.
Yeah. They said he's got like 500 followers.
And
that's it.
he planned an in-person event, and only 40 people showed up to it, however many they had. But story. Robin, you didn't really flesh out your story? Yeah, you did. You talked about your story a little bit.
Basically, I loved the story. It gave me everything that I wanted.
So, let's try to bring it all together. I don't know if you guys are
I just wanted to add like a quick point because you're talking about Paul Dano. I liked pre-interrogation when he kind of like gave himself up and he was in that diner. It reminded me of that painting, like the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, like at the diner. It was like right out of that painting where you zoomed into the diner, the cops were about to jump in, and he wants to get himself into Arkham because that's part of his plan. And he's just having that cappuccino, and somehow he fucking has etched in that question mark logo for Bruce the Stee. But it's so calculated, but it just gave it like a whole other like layer of like, man, he's fucking nuts. Like he wants to be exposed so he can move forward. When he says "see you in hell," he's ready for that next move.
Yeah, I think Nighthawks is the painting you're talking about.
We have not.
Yeah, you're right. Nighthawks.
We have been very careful. I don't think we've been careful. We just have not touched on it. We have not talked about after the film ends, the main story ends, and Paul Dano is alone in Arkham, and he realizes that his plot is foiled, and he's like, he's fallen apart. And there is that one tease in Arkham.
Oh shit!
That I didn't see coming. I don't know if anybody else had it spoiled. I completely forgot about the actor that they had cast.
Yeah,
I knew he was in the movie.
And we had talked about that as well.
I had completely forgotten about that. And what were you guys thinking when you see and you hear another character from a cell speaking to Riddler? Where were your guys' thoughts? What did you think was coming? And what were your response when you actually realized when he made the he said one day you're at the top and the next day you're just a clown.
Yeah.
I thought, are you really going to introduce Joker this early in the game?
Yeah, me too.
It's a bit early. And then I was like, well, it probably the Joker, but it could be Hush, but it's probably the Joker though. It's like all the signs are there, but I thought it was a bit early to bring him in. I don't know.
It was 3 hours into the story, and if you figure,
no, I mean the trilogy, early in the trilogy.
But
Yeah.
it's 3 hours into the trilogy if they do 3. And if you think about The Dark Knight, that's Joker showing up about 3 hours into
Yeah.
that trilogy. So, but yeah, I know what you mean by bringing him in, but we only got a little hint of him.
Because we just had Joaquin Phoenix, and it's like, another Joker. Like we got a lot of Jokers. Like,
And right before that, and after Joaquin, the absolute goat, Jared Leto.
Yeah, but you can't let what other movies have done dictate what you do in your movie. You can't say, "Oh well, I had the idea to do this here, but other movies came out with this character in it, so I can't."
That's very much what I'm getting from Reeves. Is he doesn't give a fuck what Warner Brothers' plans are. He doesn't care what Warner Brothers' plans were before. He doesn't care what they're at. This is what I'm making my own little fucking world. Deal with it. Grumps. When you're sitting when your ass is in the chair, you gotta go pee pee. It's been 3 hours, and then Reeves throws this fucking curveball at you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I could have done without that. I don't know. The voice or the look that it didn't do much for me. But it was so slight or whatever. But I thought what was cool was the riddle that he said at the end about a friend or whatever friends.
He said, riddle me this. The less you have, the more valuable it is.
Yeah.
A friend.
So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't know that it needed to be there, but if that's what he's using to segue into that being part of the next story.
Joker and Riddler, that's actually pretty badass, though.
The war of jokes and riddles.
And are we? I wasn't sure what to take of it from the end there. So when we come to the next movie, is it possible that Gotham is still flooded out, or
that's like
were we seeing at the end that Bruce and Selina riding away on motorcycles? Were they just in a part of the city that maybe wasn't hit by the flood, or were we to assume that the flood was already subsided by then?
I got the sense that maybe they were on higher ground because they're at a cemetery, aren't they?
Yeah.
I got a sense they're on like a cemetery, higher ground, hillside kind of thing. And I felt like it's almost setting up like a No Man's Land 0 year sequel.
Yeah.
Because it shows Penguin in the penthouse looking out, and he's pretty much looking out like Gotham is in ashes, and he's like now ascending to the top.
Well, he's overlooking his city now, right?
Yeah, and it's his chance to strike because everything's in chaos. TZ, your thoughts about the Joker not?
Believe him.
I'm kind of like the same perspective as BFT. I feel like it's a little too early, but I don't know. It's like I'm excited to see it again. Yeah, for sure, but
sure
I'm excited. I want more rogues. Like I want more rogues to be in the storyline, and if Joker is going to be in it, I want him to kind of be within Gotham City and not really take over the movie. So, because I think we've had enough of Joker kind of taking over. So, if he can be supplemental into just another component of a crime boss in Gotham, that's fine. Like there's enough space for him to kind of crossbreed with like Penguin, Two-Face. Like just don't let him take over. Like
that's impossible.
What
shit?
I don't see how you put that character in a mood. That's the main event right there, right?
Yeah,
Batman versus Joker.
That's the main course.
Unless you're Jared Leto, book him.
Well, then you get cut out.
This whole movie too is just. I was telling people at work, I was like, man, if you're a fan of like the Arkham Asylum video games, this is like a live action version of that video game. The fighting style, like Battinson's fighting style, is the video game come to life. Like it's ground and pound. It's like, yo, let me fight 12 people and let me just fuck everyone up. Even
I'll take a
Selena,
few
like,
hits, but my health bar didn't get down all the way, so I'm okay.
yeah, or my health bar is up to here, and I'm
Yeah.
still gonna, like, I mean,
Oh,
he
this
grabbed,
motherfucker
in
crash
like,
landed.
Oh man, that was
yeah,
funny. Yeah,
like
How many
that,
times
like,
did he get
yo,
shot?
he got fucked
yeah,
up.
like
He got and
he
Oh shit.
he's legitimately like in the club, grabbing a bat and just fighting
Yeah.
anyone that's
Yeah.
just within like 2 feet of him, So
At the
well,
end, he had
it was
to
high.
inject.
It was,
He had to inject
yeah,
himself with some venom at the end there.
Yeah, Venom.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, that
So
was
so
awesome.
I think I am kind of on the same page with some of you guys as far as Joker. I didn't need or want a Joker yet in this world because I'm happy to see other villains get explored, other rogues get explored. Um, if you were to ask me what I would like, I think I would have loved to have seen a Basil Carlo or a Kirk Langstrom in that cell,
Yeah.
and a Basil Carlo or a Kirk Langstrom get that opportunity to get teased for maybe a setup to help in the next film or be introduced in the next film. So I can't believe that Reeves fucking did that. I think he's got balls to even think that fans are ready or want that. So take that as you will with him. That being so, and I'll be honest, like for me, I almost wanted this movie to kind of not have that in it because I wanted to stand on its own and not have it overshadowed by anything like that.
100. Yeah, definitely.
So I'll be honest. I'm taking a point off of my score because of that. Because it's that much of a spit in my face as a fan to think that you can just throw that carrot out and I'm going to bite. Sir, I won't bite. Okay. That being said, all that being said, I'm fucking mad because I want to see where that goes. I do want to see what he has planned for that Joker. He looks fucking scary, and it looked more like Two-Face to me in the little tiny peek window that
Yeah.
we got to see.
Yeah, he looks like such a monster.
It looked like Two-Face, and
He could be
I'm-
Hush as well. I mean, it's a long
no,
shot. I mean,
it's got to be
Hush was
Joker.
deformed, wasn't he?
But he starts he starts
No.
laughing.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
So I think I'm number one. How dare you, Matt Reeves? Number two, how dare you, Matt Reeves? Because now I want to see that, and I don't want another fucking 4 or 5 year wait to do this villain to then get the next one. Because I want to see Clayface. I want to see Man Bat. I want to see Ventriloquist, and I feel like Reeves could fucking kill it with any of those guys. But fucking Reeves, if you want to show me fucking your Joker, I guess I'll come. I guess I'll come see your
Well,
fucking Joker.
the thing, what I thought was at the end, you had mentioned No Man's Land and Zero Year. I was thinking about stuff like that, and then also I was like, well, now Gotham needs a new police commissioner. Now Gotham needs a new DA.
Yeah.
We
need a Leslie Thompson.
So, and then Bruce. Well, I don't know if you want to talk about that just yet, but I felt like he might tack on this renewal project that his dad had.
Yeah.
Just like Court.
And going forward. So
I thought you were going to say he was going to go into the orphanage and pluck another orphan to endanger.
No, he goes to the circus for
and
that,
get
yeah.
reported for child abuse for endangering the life of a child for Robin.
Oh, what was cool? It was good that you see him just be brooding and pounds people in the ground the whole movie, and then at the end, he sacrifices himself, and then he starts pulling people out of that wreckage and guide them out of the in the water.
Yeah.
And so it really humanizes him after all of the dark brooding that it was like light at the end of the tunnel, a little evolution of Batman as he's growing, and just like when he's puts that person in that aerial stretcher and whatnot, like that was pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. It kind of like
that was a good scene.
It reminds you why everyone loves Batman. It's like 1 second he's pounding someone into the ground, the next second he's like, saving civilian lives. Like it's just he's a polymath. So it's like like Reeves really knew how to balance this movie out, and just make sure there was enough at the end. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and that scene in the water, seeing the people embrace him and follow him. That's another thing that we don't get to see in live action.
You know what that reminds me of when in Batman vs Superman, when Superman he's in Mexico and he saves a kid or something, and everyone like puts their arms towards him to touch him. That kind of reminds me of that, like everyone gravitating towards the Batman.
And the very first scene where he pulled out that kind of flashlight thing, like the glow stick looking flashlight. No, not the flare at the end there, but he has that flashlight, like that tube looking flashlight, like a little tiny lightsaber. That reminded me of Court of Owls when he's investigating one of their hideouts, and I think it's one of the ones in the 13th floors of one of the buildings that isn't supposed to be there. And he has almost the exact same little light that he's using.
There's tons of court nods in this movie, tons. Like it's just there. And when
I hope that they explore that universe for Battinson, whether it's the second and third movie, because that could just be a whole movie in itself.
When he was saying, I can't say that I'm a dead man if I say who ratted, they're everywhere. When he was saying all that, I was like, can you imagine if he was talking about the Court of Owls?
That's what I thought.
That would be would be fucking nuts.
I did think that, man. There's so much more to talk about. Luckily, we're going to do it again on Monday night and
with the Trunkler.
With the Trunkler, with Legends.
Oh, nice.
With Grandpa Batman. And by that point, I have a feeling. Are you guys going to see it again until then? Before then?
Tomorrow.
Yes.
I plan on trying to get out. He said 3 by Monday.
Wow.
He said 3, so I'm gonna try it.
10 a.m.
Real quick, let's do. If you guys are able to, if you've been able to kind of come up with it, let's go your scores.
Scores.
Let's go, Robin. Scores for this film.
What are we doing? We doing like a 5, a 10? What are we doing?
Let's go 10 out of 10 poutines.
Oh.
No. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 Batman soda pop tops.
Soda pop tops.
All right. Going from where I feel right now, I'll sort of reserve my spot after first watching. I'm just gonna go with like right near the top with like a 9.5 right now.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Jesus.
We will see where I feel after a second and some more time to think about it, but I'm just gonna book my spot at a 9.5.
Your Monday night Rotten Tomato score. That's what you are. You're the Monday night certified fresh at 96%.
Slam dunk contest shit.
Teases score out of 10 fresh teas.
Damn, fresh one.
Crisp.
Mine is a razor sharp 9 flat.
Ooh, wow.
And like I told BFT, I said after a second or third viewing, I had no doubt that I'll probably go 0.5.
Gonna give it the boost. Gonna give it the bump.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get it to the point where it's a 10 out of 10, like a lot of people have been saying, but it was really a piece. It was a work of art. I was excited before, I was during and after it. When you leave a movie and you're hyped for like 3 days later, that you witnessed something special. I just want to get through my work week, and I just want to be like, when am I going to see this movie again? So it's just that good. It's there's not much to gripe about. They're giving us what we want, but it's different. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, and you were saying that before, I was like, is this movie right next to Batman 89? Like,
oh shit, that's what we got to talk to Tom after.
Tread lightly, boys.
We're heading. These are sanctioned talks right now. So
yeah.
So you're teasy. You're at a razor sharp 9.
Yeah, nine
Okay.
9 flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 flat.
Grumps, out of 10 Rosa slices.
He's had two. Plus he's had 2 servings already as well. So
So he's had the grandma slice and he's had
and he got
the thin crust pie.
he's got a 3rd serving tomorrow too.
Grumps is eating at the buffet. He's eating at the buffet right
He
now.
got the Madison buffet, man.
He's at the buffet and he's not leaving.
He's not leaving, bro. He's fucking leaving.
Going back. I could go a 9.5.
Wow, fucking shit.
Only I would take a little sliver off because I was like, it might have ran a little bit too long. But,
first time we're hearing that, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Just, you know,
and that's a valid point, to be honest with you, Grumps. And go ahead. Any other thoughts on your score?
But 9.5 like that.
Wow.
I'm sorry, the first viewing, right? The first viewing. 5 minutes into this movie. That's my Batman. And I was done. I watched it again today and I felt exactly the same way.
Done. That buffet, baby.
Grumps, I'm glad you brought it up because when I first saw the reviews coming out and people complaining about the 3 hours, like, it was way too long, I was like, they have to find something to bitch about this movie, it sounds like to me. That's what I initially thought. And then I sat down and watched the movie, and I'm going to be honest with you. I felt the pacing, don't get me wrong, I think what they did is they wanted a lot of money shots, they wanted a lot of extended shots, they wanted to really chalk up, they really did. They really wanted you to look at the cinematography and enjoy this. It's a beautiful movie. Completely understand. That being said, I do believe the length is a valid criticism now. I was very quick to be like, you're a bitch because you're saying a 3-hour movie sucks. I get it now because I feel like the pacing of the film, if you chop a little more fat off, I feel like you're going to get more people to really enjoy it more.
But what are you going to lose from the movie to take off a meaningful amount, like, to make people happy that think it's too long? What do you have to take off? Half an hour?
No, I think
for it to be a meaningful difference in the runtime, for anyone that says, 3 hours, that's too long. Okay, what if it's 2.5? Okay, that would be a little better. Okay, what are you going to lose from half an hour? Like how much
that's a good question, because I wonder, I'll go back the second time and maybe think about that more, because is there things that you're going to lose? There's a lot of extended shots that I remember seeing, like him walk. I mean, of course, you want that built-up tension of him walking into the scene and hearing his footsteps. That's a big part of the character, so I understand that. But I'm just saying that I understand the critique. Before I didn't. I was like, they're being a bitch. They're complaining just to complain. And now I'm like, okay, I kind of understand what they're saying. I'm going to take a point off for Joker. For 2 reasons. Again, like I said, how dare you, Matt Reeves? Give me something that I didn't want, and now that I want to, now I have to invest possibly 4 to 5 years to see that at least flushed out, which I do want to see now. So I hate him for that. So I'm gonna go probably right now. I'm sitting on a. You guys are not gonna like this. I'm on like a, and I can sweeten. I'm sour right now, okay, but I can sweeten. I'm on a 7.9 right now, 7.9. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna get higher. I'm telling you where I'm at right now. Grumps, don't give me that.
Okay, let me ask. I want to ask, because you used this because you cited this as a reason. Did Batman Begins also lose a point for teasing Joker when at the end Gordon handed Batman that Joker card?
Batman Begins for me, and I don't want to get into too much of a different movie. There was the whole thing about building your own Gotham City for me, for Batman Begins, was so fucking dope. The suit was so fucking dope. I don't even remember what I thought about the tease with the card. As far as the reason I don't want it, the reason I take the point off for the Joker isn't necessarily because I don't. Oh, you shouldn't do the Joker. More so of like, man, I want to see Reeves do Man Bat. I want to see Reeves do Ventriloquist. I want to see him do. I think Reeves could fucking kill any rogue that he does. So again, I do want to see his Joker, but it makes me mad that I hope it's not at the expense of any other villain. So again, I'm gonna sweeten. Maybe I'll sweeten. Right now it's a 7.9. Might go to an 8.1. But I'm sitting on like a strong 8. I'll say 7.9, 8, because if I had to give 89 a 10, Grumps, how dare you? If I had to give 89 out of 10, I would say this is like sitting just under at like an 8. Again, I'll see it again. Maybe I'll sweeten. I might go higher. I might go 9. But right now, I'm at like an 8. Who have we? Charles,
Believe him.
Oh, right at the moment, 9 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
So Zoe's a little too short. But
Oh,
she,
shit.
Ariana Grande, bro. Fucking
Ariana Grande.
But but she's still great. It's just I don't know. She's so small. Like, and I love Catwoman.
Grumps, are you ready? I mean, you said it already. This is your favorite Batman solo film ever.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Previously, it was Batman Begins.
Okay. Robin, would you agree for you?
That it's my favorite?
Batman solo.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Oh, big
that was instant.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And I can understand. I can understand why people would definitely say that. And again, like I really think this is a generational movie for a new generation of Like this is like with the Arkham games, there was a whole new flood of new fans that like fell in love with Batman because you got to be him, and it was its own take. Animated series, kind of same thing, different, completely brand new take on Batman. I feel like this is kind of like that. Like the Batman it's like a jumping on point for new fans. I feel like it's just birthing like a new flock of freshman class.
What I like what they did with this movie is at the end of some trailers, they recommended to read Year One, Ego, and Long Halloween. So I kind of like how that's kind of cool that you get, they're recommending read these story arcs before you watch the movie. It's enhanced the experience.
He's not here to give us his thoughts, but I did want to include him. Legends of Lego Batman, who I don't know if you guys do recall, he was so against this movie, right?
Yeah.
And he said to me, he's like, I'm not going to put this sweater on until Pattinson convinces me, until Matt Reeves convinces me of this movie. And he held out for as long as he could, but when Batman shot himself with the injection of, if it's venom or if it's adrenaline, but he opens up his pants and he fucking shoots himself in the leg and he fucking bulks up and just beats the fuck out of the goon. Legends got up out of his chair in the theater and ripped the sweater off the chair and put it on like so hurriedly. But he says, I walked in the movie theater wearing no sweater. I walked out wearing one. That's my review. Very funny.
So I want to know if you guys could have pick a rogue for the next movie. Anyone.
Ivy.
Just one. Ivy. Okay. Teasers?
Shit.
Just one.
I would love to see Freeze, but not in the second movie. So, fuck.
That's a good one. That could.
Jesus wants Batman Who Laughs.
Nah, that's for like the seventh movie. Shit. Who? Yeah, like we don't need Scarecrow. We don't need Two-Face, right? We've already had that.
You like Man?
Like who? Like if you have to really think about the Gotham that has been presented to us, like who fits that? Who fits that? You know, it's a little tricky. Huh?
I would say I want a monster. I want.
I almost wanted to say Man-Bat, but I don't think in the story sequence it's ready for that yet. I feel
think
like
Reeves.
it needs to
I think
ramp.
Reeves could do it. I think Reeves can pull it off. Where,
I mean, I would love to see Freeze, but I don't see Freeze in that world yet. In that Gotham, like
I think he could do it.
I would love it.
Think of Gotham Central. First arc of Gotham Central.
Yeah.
Freeze. That's like low. That's Gotham Street level Freeze, and he's murking fools with his gun.
Yo, the
Robin.
television show Gotham.
Yeah, Robin.
I'm still thinking on it. Like, there are characters that I would love to see done, but I feel the stories might stray a little too near to this one. Like, I would love to see Calendar Man done.
Oh,
but I feel like it would be a little too close to what
he's
the
already been
Riddler
done?
story here was.
He's already in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, that's a that's another reason why I won't list Black Mask, because
Okay.
they did him recently.
Oh, Jesus.
But
And they did him dirty.
Zaz would be cool to do too, but again, the story could stray a little too close to chasing a serial killer. So it gets tough, and I would like to see Roz, but okay, we had him in the Nolan movies.
Yeah.
It just gets tough to pick someone.
I'm gonna say Mr. Freeze. I think they did such a good job with the relationships in this movie, and that's like a tragic love story relationship thing. And
Good point.
I think he'd do well with that.
What's what's sad is the Gotham TV show, which wasn't that good, did a really good ventriloquist.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right.
The look, especially, was straight out of the comics or the animated series.
Yeah, it was solid.
I would like to see a Deathstroke, maybe. But that does bring up the idea of how cool would it be if they sort of took a page from the Arkham Origins story and did a thing where whoever was at the top of the list of trying to take Batman out of the equation puts a bounty out on him to all the people who could potentially take him out, and then we get a handful of villains.
A lot of potential. This movie is super ambitious, and all the projects attached to it feel super ambitious, which is I feel like there's so much that can come out of this. It feels almost overwhelming at times with how much they're saying is going to come from it. But I hope they do. I hope they do justice. What was I going to say before? I have a couple of things I want to show you guys real quick.
Tom, what's better, 89 or the Batman?
Dude, come on! I already told you, 89 will never be surpassed in my book, and it's pure nostalgia. Like I understand. I'll straight up say the Batman's a better story. The Batman's a better Batman story. The Batman's a better detective story than 89. Like I'll tell you that all day. Like I have to say, you can't not say that. The movie's undeniable. Like I don't care who you are. If you hate this movie or dislike this movie, it's because you're holding on to something you're not willing to let go of, and you're not willing to enjoy the movie. I let that go as I walked into the theater.
Who would win in a fight, Keaton or Battinson?
Please, let's not do this. Keatonson, clearly. Let's talk to some folks who maybe share my sentiment, but in a little bit of a more difficult degree. Is this really the movie they forced Ben Affleck out for? Wasn't awful, but that was wildly pretentious and anticlimactic and way too fucking long. No rating yet. Hashtag the Batman. Thank you, Dean Holtz, 13.
You know what? It was not anticlimactic.
Listen. This is his opinion. Okay, he can have it.
No, I don't care about him. I'm just saying that some people, there have been people saying it's anticlimactic. If you think that flood scene is anticlimactic, then I don't know, man.
I haven't heard. That's the first time I've heard anticlimactic.
Jesus said it.
I think.
Well, the reason why I said anticlimactic is because they built up this whole Riddler story, and as much as he's kind of controlling things from the asylum because his plan is coming through, like it kind of stopped. There was a point where it stopped, and that's where a lot of people say Act 3 fell a little short, but there was a resolution because Batman brought Gotham together. Like there's a whole resolution and there's purpose and a sense of hope to rebuild Gotham.
Yeah,
and that's where the resolution is.
I respect it.
The whole Riddler shit kind of just faded, and then it came back at the end when Tom just said he started just like celebrating.
That's the thing. We didn't touch up on that real quick when he didn't realize that tool was supposed to be used.
Carpenter's tool?
For tucking. A carpenter's tool for tucking.
So for
he said it was a tucker or something.
I thought that was pretty good. Like how he overlooked that. That was kind of cool.
A bit pretentious, if you ask me. Grumps, this one's for you right here. The audacity. This was Ben Affleck's title for his Batman film. Matt Reeves gets credit for nothing. Do better. That's from Ben Ray Animals. Hashtag release the Ayer cut. So we know where he's coming from. And then this poor soul. Obviously, this is obviously satire, but what a beautifully crafted tweet. In my anticipation of the Batman, I've been avoiding spoilers for years. I've missed literally every trailer, poster announcement, and leak up to this point. It was difficult, but I'm sure it will be worth to finally see Ben Affleck direct and star in his own DCEU solo movie.
Oh, man.
That
deserves a round of applause. That was
That's like some donkey. That's like the donkey of the day.
Dude, yo, Charles, I was literally about to say he's the donkey of the day.
Man.
So
I think even like if you take haters like me, if you take a hater perspective, if you're a true Batman fan, if you want to see a Batman movie, there's very little that you can legitimately hate on this film. I'll say this. I don't know about you guys. I feel like Grandpa Batman is not going to like this Bruce Wayne. I was talking to Robin earlier. He hasn't created the Bruce Wayne persona yet of the Playboy billionaire. He hasn't figured that out. And I think
emo, bro.
That's very that scene that you're talking about, Robin, where he finally like gets it, and he's talking to Alfred, and he explains to Alfred, I realize what it would feel like to lose someone. The fear of losing someone again. I'm terrified of it, right? And he realizes, I realize what that would feel like if I felt it all over again, you know? I think that's when he starts to realize that he needs to become Bruce Wayne to make this work.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what, because we meet this Batman where he's ready to die doing this, you know, and he doesn't care about, you know, he doesn't care if the family fortune runs out, because he thinks he's just going to burn himself as long as he can doing this Batman thing, and you know, he's probably going to die doing it. But I think we see him learn that, okay, Batman needs some longevity. And for that to happen, I need to keep the business going. So I need to keep Bruce Wayne going.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne, he needs the resources that Bruce Wayne provides.
Yeah.
And he needs the influence, the reach that Bruce Wayne provides to Batman.
And Riddler may have been
sorry.
one of the ones that pointed that out to him, made him realize that when during that interrogation scene when he says, "I know that I'm seeing the real you right now."
Oh yeah, and he goes, "Oh fuck!"
And I was the real me in my mask. You know, I could do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, I need to protect this. Like I need to not show people this way better than I am.
Yeah, and you saw that relief
when he realizes he inspired this fucking crazy person.
I love that. I love that and that's so much, you know, the argument in the comics from so many other characters is that you're the problem, Batman. You're the fucking problem, because there wouldn't be freaks in the city if it wasn't for you. You're the one that draws them here.
Yeah.
Oh, and Robin, I almost forgot. One of I know you mentioned the interrogation scene of Heath Ledger and Bale. But one of the scenes that I feel like gets overlooked so much in The Dark Knight that I don't know if it'll ever be topped for me is when Joker is hanging upside down, and he's talking to Batman, and he says, "It feels like you and I were destined to do this forever."
Yeah.
Joker and Batman having this back and forth, and number one, the way that hits, because that's so true to those two characters. It feels like you and I were destined to do this forever. Go back and forth, this cat and mouse. And then also the weight of knowing that Heath Ledger was never able to come back and do that was fucking, oh my God.
What did he say? He goes, "This is what happens when a unstoppable force meets an immovable object," or something.
Yeah. So that was, I feel like that scene doesn't get enough credit, and I love that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we did a good job. You guys all did a great job giving your.
Well, maybe before we get out of here, everybody should name their favorite on-screen live-action Batman. Really stir it up.
Edward Cullen.
Oh my God, Robin, really?
Yep.
Yo,
This is
he's
it.
your
Pattinson
favorite?
is it? Pattinson took it,
I'm
man.
with Rob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did it.
Me and Rob.
I would
got your
not
back.
have. Yeah, I would not have said that before seeing the movie, but man,
Yes.
yeah, he did it. There was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong.
Believe him.
It was Ben before this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Teases.
Oh shit. You
On
know,
the spot.
I'm with you. Keaton is my favorite Batman. I don't love him as Bruce, but I would say that there's a space for Pattinson on the shelf right next to him.
Man,
Wow.
so Keaton. You said Keaton.
He says
but
Pattinson's right next to him.
But that's
yeah,
two.
Paddy wagon.
You only get one.
Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna stick with what I know. Keaton is the guy for me.
Oh, yeah, no, we got to keep it juicy for the listeners. That's all, guys.
Paddy wagon, your thoughts?
Listen, man, I can't deny Keaton, man. Otherwise, I deny my whole,
That's a whole other show. I'm
that's a whole
willing
other
to
show.
die on
That's a
that
whole.
Okay.
Wait. Grumps, you're willing to die on Pattinson being your new number one?
I'm willing to die on the hill that I don't 30 something years later, Keaton is not, he doesn't look like Batman on the screen. He looks like a little guy,
We'll cut this out, but I understand what you're saying.
I don't know. It's like your first girlfriend that you don't want to let go of. Like, let it go. It's okay.
How fucking dare you?
Patty's got your back. It's okay.
How dare you?
Yeah,
oh man.
He's like, who's the mustache with the broken nose? So I was like,
the mustache with the broken
nose. That's so good. That's good.
I love when someone says, "Punch me in the face." Damn, girl, you sure? Okay. Paddy wagon.
Oh shit! Oh man, what'd I do?
It was George Clooney.
Oh man, I stabbed myself in the foot. You know what? I'm gonna roll for Keaton for now. I want to see, just Keaton. It's because I'm not ready to let go. It's because I'm not ready to let go. So I'm gonna roll, but only because there wouldn't be any of these other Batmans in a certain way if it wasn't for Keaton as well. So, but I mean, it's like you can't tell me that Patty wouldn't slam dunk on him right now either. It's kind of like that as well. So,
I got a kid named fucking Keaton. What are you what do you want? What do you fucking want from me, guys? What do you fucking want from me? Nostalgia. Let's put nostalgia aside, and I'm gonna have to watch this movie again. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys are making me think. I think the reality is I didn't pay enough attention to Pattinson's performance because I was so enthralled by everybody else around him, and I was so entertained by everyone else around him that I don't think I gave him his due for this movie. So I think the next time that I sit down to see it, I'm really gonna pay attention to him. Nostalgia aside, if you were to ask me who's the most accurate on the screen, who's the one that I love seeing, man, it's hard for me to not say Ben is at times is fucking perfect, man. So
Ben is fucking beast. Ben.
Perfect. Yeah. He's fucking perfect. So, what I'm gonna say is this is a
but Ben in the BVS.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's so hard to. This Batman is completely different than. I mean, this is a completely different Batman. So I feel like this whole movie in general is on its own. It's in its own category. Like I'm gonna say it again. Like this is the best Batman solo movie story. Right, and that says a lot. I feel like it's just a well-crafted solo story.
This is very special. This is because it's not just a good Batman story; it's just a good movie in general.
You know. I'm gonna say it like this. When someone asks you, "Hey, I want to start reading Batman. What are 5 graphic novels I got to read?" Right? You go and whatever your top 5, you go Killing Joke, you go Dark Knight Returns, Year One, you say Long Halloween, whatever it might be, Hush, whatever. Now I want to get into Batman movies. Can you give me 3? I think you're gonna have to say the Batman. in those three, right?
Yeah.
If you got a person that's never seen a Batman movie before, hey, I've never seen a Batman movie. Where should I start?
Especially if they say, I've never gotten into any of those comic movies.
Well, you have to think that Batman Begins is an origin movie, and
yeah,
you could throw
the Batman is not an origin movie, so you got to think about that as well.
So yeah, I mean that's like I said, give me your top three. You could say, hey,
Yeah.
you're gonna watch a Batman movie. Okay, we've never seen a
Yeah.
Batman movie. Go Begins, go The Batman,
And Birds of Prey.
All right, gentlemen. We
Whoa. One question.
You got questions for
Did
Tom?
anyone in the funeral scene, was that Joe Chill talking to Bruce Wayne, or?
Well, I wondered, but he was the guy. He was the last Riddler guy at the end there.
Did you
Oh, he
catch
was?
that?
Okay.
Did you catch that? I didn't catch that.
That's why, like, he looks at him for a second. He has
okay.
that moment of recognition because he remembers seeing that guy at the funeral.
Another incel 4chan cuck.
Okay.
That buckshot really
He
did bad.
says, "I know who you are," or something like that.
Mm.
Alright, anyway,
I do feel that that's not said enough. I did love the fact that Pattinson gets fucked up in this movie so many times.
Oh, I have a good question for you guys. Did any fight scene in the Batman surpass the warehouse fight scene in Batman vs Superman?
No, for me, no.
No,
That's an easy no.
I don't
That's an
think
easy
so.
no.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
no.
think so. That,
but they were good though. They were really good. But no.
yeah.
I'll reiterate again. Affleck in BVS, the suit, the look, the fights.
Nightmare Batman, bro. That fucking parademons, bro.
Shout out to Rob Freitas. Shout out to Batman Stuntman.
Rich
Richard
Citrone.
Citrone. Shout out to Zaddy. There are so many people that went into create. Shout out to Ben Affleck. There's so many people that went into creating that Batman. It's so hard, and you got to understand that's why people are having such a hard time with this movie. They have to let go, and you don't even have to let go. Just set it aside. Just put it. Just put it over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a break. Push pause. Put it over there. Just come take a trip down year 2 real quick. You know.
Yo, Batfleck.
Yeah.
Batfleck was pretty good. He's like, "You got it, The Rock."
The voice. That was so. What a genius fucking cop out workaround with the Batman voice to do a voice changer. Like that's genius.
You know what's funny? I feel like Christian Bale was so popular, but I feel like he's like the least talked about Batman at this point. It's weird.
I mean, you're gonna get hate right now from the Nolan nerds for saying that.
Because he was good, but man, those fight scenes and that voice was, it wasn't good.
I feel the most I hear about Christian Bale is he's the best Bruce Wayne. I feel like that's everyone's argument.
Robin hates him as Bruce Wayne.
Interesting.
It was good at the time. That was,
Yeah, I see him as he's a good placeholder. Like, I mean, he's a good. And this, I'm not saying that in a negative way. He's a good placeholder. He's a good stepping stone towards. And I don't want to say again. I'm not saying this in a bad way. He's a great, safe, comforting Batman, Bruce Wayne, because the other versions of him are so different and so kind of courageous in different ways that they chose to go. That I'm not saying Christian Bale chose to go safe. I'm saying I can understand why so many people like Christian Bale because he is. I'm not trying to say this in a bad way. He's like McDonald's. Like you know what you're getting. He's consistent. I feel like he's comforting because he's an easy transition into the character. He's not flamboyant. He's not crazy. He's not weird looking. He's not Dark Knight Returns like Affleck. He's not Keaton. You know, he's not silly like Clooney. He played him straight. You know what I mean?
You know what, Tom? Keaton has a fight scene coming up this year, so you got to think about that too. We've seen it, and that might be like when Jordan returns with the 45 jersey, you know.
But there's a movie that Keaton did recently. I I just saw a scene from it, but he's doing a fight scene in it, and he looks outstanding.
Oh shit! The
Did we
returns,
lose
huh?
Jesus?
I'm worried
Yeah, we
about.
lost
I'm
Jesus.
worried about what they do with him.
We lost Teaser. Yeah, maybe we gotta wrap this
Oh
up.
my god!
Here.
All right,
Jesus
ladies and gentlemen,
turned into a
teases.
pumpkin.
The Christian Bale talk finally got to teases and put him to sleep.
Believe
See, this is what happens.
So you know what this is.
Sleeps us.
This hang on, let me give you an example of what Christian Bale talk does to people real quick. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. When you bring up Christian Bale in the Bat Force, here's what happens to you. All right, okay, that's it. I'm gonna hit the outro, and we will see you guys on the other side. We're gonna have another flushed out the Batman episode. So keep it tight, keep it locked.
With the trunkler.
The trunkler. Evening. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. See you, boys.
Light up.